Hello, my name is Sarah M. Mask, and I'm a second year MA student in the Museum Studies program at UNC Greensboro. And today I would like to talk to you about the tightly woven East White Oak Mill Village Public History Project. The project's goal is to research, curate, and design a two-room exhibit focusing on the history of East White Oak Mill Village and the African American textile worker experience. The exhibit will be hosted by the East White Oak Community Center as part of the organization's larger efforts to commemorate its history and start an education outreach program with local schools. The center was formerly a school built in 1916 by the Proximity Manufacturing Company to educate the children of their African American employees. As the last remaining structure from the original mill village, the center was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1992. East White Oak was the only African American mill village owned by the Cone Corporation, and its residents worked in all of the corporation's facilities, including its three denim mills: Revolution, White Oak, and Proximity. The center was at the heart of this close-knit community, and it left a lasting impression on the lives of its residents, the Call Mills Corporation, and Greensboro. My exhibit, Tightly Woven, focuses on these close community ties to tell the story of the center from its creation to the community's efforts to preserve the center after the Call Mills Corporation sold it to a developer in the late 1950s. Major themes explored in this exhibit include segregation and the impact of the Call Mills Corporation's welfare programs on the lives of its residents. My research questions include: how did the Proximity Manufacturing Company's welfare programs and the mill village structure create close community ties among East White Oak residents? How did segregation and disenfranchisement affect everyday life for East White Oak residents? And how do I design an exhibit space that promotes intergenerational discussion about segregation and the legacy of the North Carolina textile industry? My methodology is to research the history of the East White Oak community, the Call Mills Corporation, and African American textile workers in the southeastern Piedmont region of the United States. Engage with the community through Zoom calls and network with local organizations working to document Greensboro's textile history to create a community center narrative. Then I will create a big idea, preliminary plan, and budget for the exhibit while actively looking for grants to finance the project. I then select content and design 9 panels and 4 interactives for the exhibit, market the exhibit, and then prepare and install the exhibit for its late April opener. Researching in the pandemic was an obstacle, especially making contact with archival materials and the residents themselves. When COVID-19 hit in spring 2020, all of the North Carolina archives closed to the public. So I had to be strategic and be open in my communication with archivists, and I was very lucky the Wilson Library was willing to scan 30 folders from its Call Mills Corporation records. I was also very lucky that a former cohort had done a series of oral histories with Mill Village residents that I was able to use in my exhibit. I also had to be creative in how I connected with former community members. I had to email, phone call, and even do Zoom calls to be able to connect with community members and former residents of the Mill Village. I also had an obstacle of designing the physical exhibit because one of the rooms is rented to the public. So my exhibit had to be made where it's out of the way of these parties and recognize the fact that one of the rooms would be closed and part of the exhibit would not be open to the public during this time. So looking at the completion of the project, I have written all my exhibit labels and selected my content. I have secured permission and high-resolution photographs for my exhibit, and I received a Graduate Student Association Research Capstone Fund Award for $300 to buy my foam core for my panels. I also won the National Council on Public History's Graduate Student Travel Award that gave me $300 to put towards my $1,200 budget. Right now, I'm designing my panels and preparing for the exhibit opener in April, and I'm so excited for the community to have space to have community dialogue about segregation, the textile industry, paternalism, and the Mill Village. If you would like to learn more about my research, please feel free to contact me at samaske@uncg.edu. Thank you.